Hey guys, it's a beautiful Florida summer day, and today we have St. Louis pork ribs. Ribs in the pressure cooker, Power Pressure Cooker XL. You think you can do them in a smoker, you think you can do them on the grill, do them in the oven. Nope, not in an hour. You can do them 3 to 5 hours there. You can do them 1 hour inside the pressure cooker. We're gonna show you how to make the fall off the bone, best tasting ribs that you've ever had. Coming up. Hey everyone, welcome back. Randall here with Cooking Under Pressure, a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you how to use your pressure cooker, giving you the tips and tricks on how to use it properly. We are going to give you the strategies, some awesome recipes that I've gone over for the last few years and I want to share with you. Today we have an awesome recipe and I'd love for you to subscribe to our site if you're new here. Also click on the notification bell. Also any new comments would be great. We have a new microphone that we're using. Check us out. We look forward to this video coming up now. This is where we're going to be removing the membrane of the St. Louis style spare ribs, also called the silver skin. Now this can get a little tricky sometimes. I usually take a sharp little knife. I go right in the corner of the back side of the ribs. You can see this is the front, this is the back side. This can get really tricky. Sometimes it comes off all on one pull, but you can see I already have started it here. And I'm using some gloves, but the best way to do it is take a paper towel, fold up the paper towel fairly tightly to grab that corner, and then you just slowly tug the silver skin, and sometimes it comes off. You can see it starting to come off there. Sometimes it comes off in one fall swoop, looking pretty good here. And you just pull it. See how it starts to come off? And you just do a full pull of the skin. You can see it coming off there, that membrane. It's not the skin, it's what's called the silver skin, and you start to just pull that off. So that's how you get the silver skin off. We'll try to get this little corner here. You can see there's a little bit left here, so I'll use the paper towel and just grab it right on that corner there and pull it off. Take off as much of the silver skin as you can, because that can be a little bit chewy if you don't cook your ribs very long. If you cook them for 45 minutes, that silver skin membrane will usually dissolve, but I'm only going to be cooking these for about 25 minutes, so I like to pull off the silver skin. I'll do that for both of these. Next, what I do is I put the rub on the ribs, and to adhere the rub on the ribs, I throw a little bit of yellow mustard. I do this when I smoke my ribs as well. People kind of panic. Oh no, I'm afraid these ribs are going to be mustardy tasting. Trust me, they're not. That mustard flavor will definitely burn off. I put on the dry rub and I just pat it on. This is on the back right now. I make sure that I cover the back, and then I just flip them over. Make sure I grab this carefully. I just dump this right on top. This is called butt rub. You can use any rub that you'd like. This has salt in it, black pepper, some garlic powder. This also has some smoked jalapeno and some chipotle powder. You guys know I like to kick it up a little bit. This rub is a little bit spicy, but you can go to your local store or even go online, find a rub that you like that has obviously salt, pepper in it, some onion powder. This also has some paprika, as you can see in it. So I do both sides. I just pat it on. I actually forgot to put a little mustard on that top part, but normally I put mustard on both sides to adhere. It still adheres pretty well. You can see this side I put the mustard on, this side I was going to, but I actually forgot. But you can see it still adheres because I let them sit out for about an hour before I put the rub on. I usually put these ribs in overnight to really let that dry rub marry into the meat, but if you're coming home, you can do it let it sit for 10 minutes. If you can get 2 hours in the fridge, that's great too.
Hey folks, thanks for joining today. We are out here by the pool. It is the end of summer and ribs are on the menu. Ribs in the Power Pressure Cooker XL. Have you guys ever done ribs in the pressure cooker? Well, guess what? You can. I usually do them in my smoker. I've got a grill over here, smoker over here, but you know what? Maybe I want to get these done in less than an hour. Well, you can do all of your ribs inside of the pressure cooker in 45 minutes to an hour, and they will taste fantastic. Fall off the bone if you want them off the bone, or just pulling off the bone. Either way, we are going to make some fantastic ribs for you today. I have some St. Louis spare ribs that we're going to put in the Power Pressure Cooker XL. I got a few fun ingredients that we're going to mix in with the liquids to give it some really great flavor, but we are ready to make some ribs. If you're coming home after work and you want to have some ribs, you can still do these, like I said, in less than an hour. You can actually put these in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes after you put some rub on them, and they will taste fantastic. These ribs actually have been sitting overnight in the refrigerator. I usually do them overnight, but if I can only do them for 2 hours, I'll do them for 2 hours. So let's put these in. I've got the 8-quart Power Pressure Cooker XL. We're going to put 2 racks of ribs right. These have already been seasoned, as I already showed you, and we just curl them right inside the Power Pressure Cooker XL. And we put one inside the other. You guys can see these have all been seasoned. The dry rub is sitting on there nice and thick on the ribs. Now that we have the ribs in, we're going to add the liquid. Today I'm going to use an apple cider. Grew up in New England. 2 cups of apple cider, way more concentrated. Some people like beef stock, some people like apple juice, some people like orange juice, concentrate, whatever you want to use. I like apple cider. It's not filtered, tastes great, reminds me of home. So I'm going to pour in 2 cups of apple cider, and here is secret ingredient, Guinness beer. You can see my grill instructor apron today, and a nice little spot for the beer here. Also got a little beer opener, but I've got a can. So we're going to put in a can of Guinness beer, any Guinness that you want. You guys know I love to do a cocktail of the day, but today, before I finish this, our Guinness beer is going to be a cocktail of the day. Oh, who doesn't love Guinness beer? If you've ever been to Ireland, fantastic. Love Guinness beer. So the Guinness beer goes in with the apple cider. Like I said, I usually do my ribs in the smoker. It takes about 6 hours for spare ribs. This is going to take less than an hour, but maybe you want that smoked flavor. So I've got some liquid smoke. This is actually a hickory flavor, and this goes a long way. So you don't need to put too much in. Most people put only about a tablespoon, but since we've got an 8-quart here, I'm going to put just a little bit more. I'm sorry, a teaspoon. A teaspoon is plenty. I'm going to put a little bit more than a teaspoon, close to a tablespoon. It'll give you that smoky flavor if that's what you are looking for. Folks, that's it. It is that simple. A lot of people like to put a liquid in to completely cover their ribs and cook it longer, about 45 minutes. Yes, they do get super tender, but fall off the bone often means overcooked. And at 45 minutes, I find they are completely falling off the bone. They're very hard to pull out. I do 25 minutes cooking time. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes to get up to pressure, and then I do a natural release because it's not active cooking, but the meat is still cooking inside the pressure cooker. That will take about 15 minutes. So you're still under an hour, and these ribs will be super tender. So we're going to close this up and make sure your pressure valve is closed as always. I just hit the meat button, and then I hit advanced time and I go to 25 minutes, and that's all you need. 25 minutes cooking time for these ribs to be super tender, still attached to the bone, which I like. If you want fall off the bone, you can do 30 to 35 minutes, but you'll see at 25 minutes, it's plenty of time to make some fantastic ribs. All right, welcome back, folks. The pressure indicator has dropped. We've cooked it for 25 minutes. It took approximately 20 minutes to get up to pressure. We did a natural release. Meat will cook a little bit longer. It's not active cooking, but it is still in the pressure cooker. Right around 20 minutes, that can vary, so we're still under an hour. We are safe to open this. I have a towel, as always, and we're gonna open this away from us. Let's take a look at those ribs. Oh, look at the bones on those ribs. Woohoo! Look at the exposure of those bones. Wow, that was only 25 minutes, folks, and the meat is already falling off the bone. Now, like I said, if you put this in for 45 minutes, you get the idea. It is completely falling off the bone. So I'll take this first one out. Hopefully it'll stay intact. Put it right here. Look at that, folks. All of the rub still stayed right on the rack of ribs. Here's the one that was on the outside. Beautiful. Look at the exposed bones. Intact, just the way I like it. Now, if you cook it for a lot longer, unfortunately, as I mentioned, they will fall off the bone, but it's very difficult to pull out those ribs because they're falling apart. So we did 25 minutes with 2 cups of apple cider, almost a pint of Guinness beer, and a little liquid smoke. Let's take them inside now, and we're going to sauce them up and put them in the broiler for about 3 to 5 minutes so they are perfect.
All right, let's sauce up these beautiful ribs. I've got some sauce here from a place in Claremont, Florida. It is award-winning sauce. I love this place. Put any sauce you want on it. I'm going with 2 different sauces. I've got a mustard sauce and an original. It's more of a sweet sauce. It's Uncle Kenny's Barbecue out of Claremont, Florida. Fantastic sauce, but use any sauce that you want. Pour it right on the ribs, and then we'll spread it over. What we're going to do, we've already set the broiler to broil for about up to 5 minutes, depending on how close you have it. But let's put some sauce on those ribs. We're going to get these nice and caramelized. Wait till you see these ribs in 5 minutes. They are going to be gorgeous. Put these ribs in the broiler. We just pulled these ribs out of the broiler, and look at the sheen on these gorgeous ribs. Looks like they've been in the smoker for at least 6 hours. Gorgeous. We've got a mustard sauce. We've got a nice sweet barbecue sauce. Can't wait to cut into these. Let's put these on this plate and cut into them. Gorgeous, gorgeous ribs. Any night after work, folks, if you're interested in some ribs and you want to get them done within an hour, look at the bones exposed on these ribs. Put that first one right up here. Look at pliability on these ribs. Nice and loose. Exposed bones. We're going to cut into these. Mix them up with some baked beans. Some slaw, whatever you're looking for. Let's cut right into these here. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous ribs. Now remember, as I said, folks, the fall off the bone ribs, if you want to cook them a little bit longer, you can do 40 minutes. You can fill your pressure cooker with liquid all the way up to the top, but I like to do just halfway, and I like a pull off the bone rib. Look at these gorgeous ribs, folks. Look at how tender these ribs are. I mean, this meat, it is falling off. I mean, we have gorgeous meat coming off this bone. It comes with a nice tug when you bite it off the bone at 25 minutes. These are the mustard ones. The taste of these ribs are unbelievable. Super succulent, very, very tender. 25 minutes cooking time in the pressure cooker. Let's try the sweet rib. Well, look at the color on this rib. I hope you can see that. It is, and see how it attaches. It's like, again, as I said, a traditional rib you can just pull with a bite. Perfect bite, folks. You can't get it any better than that. That is 1 out. Folks, thanks for joining today. We were able to make some St. Louis style spare ribs under an hour in the pressure cooker, hanging out by the pool here in Florida. What a day. Always remember, if you ain't cooking under pressure, you ain't cooking. We'll see you next time, and enjoy these ribs.